Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Man Cave Meals. The guys over at JVR Industries have sent me the new version of the Vac100 chamber sealer that we just looked at on the 2-year follow-up review here recently. Sent me some new accessories. I'm gonna unbox this guy for you. I'm gonna show you the new feature set that this chamber sealer has that's updated from the old one. So let's have a look. This sealer comes very well packaged. I'm going to go ahead and cut the packaging straps loose on this guy. And they also come with these protectors that keep the packaging straps from tearing into the box. So let me get all these out of the way. And then once those guys are out of the way, getting to the rest of the package becomes quite easy. And you can see firsthand here how well this guy's packaged inside the box. Everything is snug and safe in there. We got the corner pieces that keep the corners of the box from caving. And basically what you've got here now is just a simple lift out. Now that I'm out of the box, I'm going to pull the lid open, and the first alert you get is that there's no oil in the pump, and we'll do that. I'll show you how easy it is to get the oil in this guy here in just a minute. It looks like we've got a 10% off code there that we can use for some additional accessories. And there's a sampling of the vacuum seal bags that come in here from JVR. And here we have the accessory hose that we're going to be looking at. And what else is in there? It looks like there's another heating element wire for the sealer bar in there if we ever would need to replace that. That comes with it, and the instruction manual is also in there. It looks like we have an additional piece of Teflon tape for the sealing bar should we ever need to replace that. The power cord is here. There's a funnel here. This funnel is going to be used for putting the oil in the vacuum pump, and that would be the oil for the vacuum pump. It all comes. Here are some spacer plates. These are a really nice feature that come with the Vac100. I'm going to show you what those are for here. I'm going to take these out of the bag. These guys serve two purposes. The one purpose they serve is if you're putting a bag in here and you need it to lay level with the sealer bar to get your bag laid across the top nicely. These do that. You can put one in there if you need a bigger one, or you can take it out if what you've got is going to lay all the way to the bottom. JVR also has another accessory that it's a piece that fills this dip in here. And having these blocks in there in association with that extra one makes the pump more efficient. It's less air that has to be removed during the vacuum cycle when you're using these guys. So these are really nice to have. On the back side of the Vac100, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that need to come out so we can access the oil. And you need a 3mm hex wrench to get these screws out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. And when you have those screws out, this back plate comes right off. And what we're going to do from here is lift up, and we're going to lock that arm in place over there on that side so it'll stay up. So from the side of the machine here, we have the oil pump and the oil reservoir. The lid, or the opening for the oil reservoir, is right here on top. So you just take that plug out, set it aside, and then set your funnel in place right there. And down low on the side of the oil reservoir, we have a sight window here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our oil bottle, and we're going to slowly pour in our oil until we reach the sight window there to about that top mark, which is about halfway up. Let's see where we are. We're almost there. I'm going to give it just a tad more. I think that's right on the money, about halfway. So I will pull my funnel off and set it aside so I can clean that, and then we'll just put our oil plug, or the top plug, back in place. The owner's manual for the Vac100 gives you all the instructions you need for doing this, but I'm going to show you quickly. When it comes time to change this oil, there's an oil drain plug right here that you'll pull out, and there's a drain hole here that you'll move this guy up over the edge of the table or counter or wherever you're setting it, and just hold a cup underneath that, and you'll pull this plug out and let the oil run out and collect it. You'll reinstall that plug, and then you'll refill the machine with oil just like I've showed you here. So that's our initial setup. I'm going to button the machine back up, and then we're going to have a further look. And to power up the Vac100, you simply connect your power cable and then keep this switch flipped. I typically leave mine plugged in and leave this switch on all the time, and then operate the machine from the panel on the front. Now that we're plugged in, we can just press the power button to power the machine up, and it comes up, tells you that it's in standby mode, and it's showing you that we are on P0, which is program 0. There are 10 programming slots in this machine, unless that's changed. I don't think it has, but the settings are, if we press the settings button here to look at P0, it's going to tell us right away that we're on program 0, and when we press the settings again, it's going to show us that our vacuum time for this setting is set at 35 seconds. If I press the settings again, it's going to show my sealing time is at 1.8 seconds. Press it again, it's going to show that my cooling time is at 3 seconds. And these defaults are pretty good for whatever you're doing to begin with. The sealing and the cooling time are good for 3 mil bags, which is mostly what you're going to be using. But if you want to change your vacuum time, you go back to that setting and hit the increase or the decrease button. So just for fun, I'm going to set this one at 45 seconds because that's where I keep my primary option set. And then we'll just hit settings and settings and settings again to come back to program 0. You can cycle through all of your various program settings that you make just by using the increase button, which goes to P1, P2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or the 9 is the pump cleaning cycle on this model. So that's a new feature that we're going to look at momentarily. And then it cycles back to P0. So let's just run a test vacuum to see how it works. And just to do something simple for a test, I've got one of my smaller 6x8 bags. I've just put a bulb of garlic in there, so I'm going to lay the top of the bag across the sealer bar and get it in the clip to hold it in place, and then we'll close the lid and let the cycle start. And it's going to run for 45 seconds, so I'll bring you back close to the finish time. Okay, we're at the 5-second countdown on the vacuum, so in just a moment it's going to stop. The sealer bar pops up, seals, cools, and then the vacuum releases. And when the vacuum releases, you can pull the lid back up, and we've got a crazy tight seal on that bulb of garlic. And one of the first things I want to comment on here, I don't know what might be different between this one and my original Vac100, but this guy is a lot quieter than my original Vac100. So now I want to give you a quick demo of the stop function here. So if I start my vacuum cycle by powering the machine up and I'm on P0, I close the lid, and if I decide somewhere during the middle of this that I want to stop it and not finish the vacuum, not finish the seal, you just press the stop button. And when you do that, it lets the air back into the chamber, and you still have your bag here, and the bag is unsealed. So the one of the new functions that we have on this newer model of the Vac100 is the ability to stop the vacuum early and go ahead and seal. So if I close the lid, restart a vacuum cycle, and I decide that I don't need the full amount of time that I've put into that and I want to stop it early, I just hit the decrease button once during the vacuum cycle, and the sealer bar comes up, it seals, it goes through the cool cycle, and then it allows the air back into the chamber. And I now have a sealed bag that is not as tight a vacuum as what I had before. It's still pretty tight, but I can stop the cycle early if I need to. One of the great things about chamber sealers, and another reason that you might want to stop your vacuum cycle and seal early, is if you're sealing liquids. I've taken a bag here and I've just put some water in it. So I'm going to lay it in here with my leveler, and I'm going to lay that bag right across the top of the sealer bar there, and then clip it in, and I'm going to spread that bag out as much as I can, and then we're going to start a seal cycle. And one of the reasons you might want to be able to do this, I'm going to back up a little bit so maybe we'll be able to see it. As the pressure decreases in this chamber, this water will boil at room temperature, and when it starts to do that, that's about when you want to stop your cycle. So we're at this point, we're 20 seconds in. You can see bubbles developing there, and it's starting to boil. So I'm going to hit the decrease and let it seal that bag and let the pressure return. And now I have a perfectly sealed bag of water. And the reason you don't want to let things boil or put hot things in there is because the moisture is going to vaporize and it's going to get water into your pump, which makes the oil dirty, which reduces the amount of time you have between the oil change maintenance. And this machine has added a new feature that we're going to look at. Now, on page number 8 of the user's manual, we have the documentation for the vacuum pump cleaning program. This is new on this particular model, and to get to that, you power the machine up and you just hit the settings button. Oops, I'm sorry. You hit the settings button and then increase, or actually you can decrease to come to the P9 program. And when you come to that program, you just close the lid, and this starts a cycle that is 5 minutes long. It runs the vacuum pump for 5 minutes, and that brings the oil up to a higher operating temperature, and it helps remove any moisture in the pump system that has collected there that could be hindering the performance of your machine, and it will also help increase the life of your oil between oil changes. Over here on the far right of the control panel, we have the pump button, and what this button does is it allows you to operate the pump without having the lid closed when you want to use some of the accessories that come along with this unit. The Vac100 comes with this accessory hose, and the way this works is, in conjunction with that pump button, you put one end of this hose over the vacuum pump hole back there, and you connect the other end to your accessory. And the one accessory that comes with this is a wine bottle top, where you can put this over the top of a wine bottle after you've opened it and reseal it, remove the oxygen, and extend the life of your wine. That's what comes with it. Now, I've got a couple of other accessories here, and I am going to do a separate video on those accessories. So we're going to wrap this one up here, guys. I just want you to know that this thing is really a true workhorse, and this is something you should seriously consider if you're into buying in bulk and into saving leftovers. A chamber sealer like this is really going to come back and pay for itself time and time again with regular use. So guys, if you've got one of these, let me know what you think about it. If you're thinking about getting one, let me know what you think. Or if you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment, let me know, and I'll answer them the best I can. If I can't, I will bring Andrew from JVR Industries in to make sure we get the answers you might be looking for. So guys, until next time, this is John Setzler with Man Cave Meals.